Hello, welcome to Retro Vehicles and Machinery. My name's Richard, and this week I'm looking at doing some more work on my building project. I've had my old Kubota digger out and moving around a lot of soil. Got my small retaining wall in between the land together, and carrying on with some concrete work too. This has been an ongoing project of mine for the last couple of years, sorting out the retaining wall and building a nice patio area, as well as doing an extension onto the garage, so I have a small workshop garage area too. So this is what my bit of land looked like before. It had a rather dodgy bit of retaining wall, which was wooden posts and corrugated tin pushed into the ground. It was all bowing out and looking a horrible mess. But with the machine I've managed to dig back the bank and lay a decent concrete foundation down and build the retaining wall upon that. So it should be a little stronger than what was there before. So buried into the ground here was an old railway sleeper that had some of the corrugated tin pushed against it. I used the digger to withdraw it from the land. It was quite well buried, but it was all rotten from about halfway up. Obviously the damp had got into it and turned it all mushy, so I've disposed of that and moved it out of the way here. And with the strap connected a bit lower down, the rest of the sleeper pulled out from the ground. I'm using my Benford mixer to mix up some more concrete to fill between one section of the retaining wall and the other section. So I've been backfilling it with a concrete mix with some ballast and stone mixed into it as well. I have also filled this section of the retaining wall here with the concrete mix in the middle, so that's filled that up nicely. This section of the wall is the retaining wall between the garden area and the patio I've been building. Got it up to spec here, and I've graded out land with the machine. What I'm doing here is just tamping down the ground with the tractor of the digger just to make sure everything sits down and goes down nice and flat. I'm setting the digger up here onto a level bit to scrape the very top of the land that I've tamped down, just to even it off a little bit further before I start making some dry mix for the slabs. I'm trying to be gentle enough with the levers on the machine so as not to dig down and take up too much land, and just be nice and scrape the top layer back. So I'm grading out my dry mix of sand and cement here. I did about a 6-to-1 mix with sharp sand and cement to bed the patio down onto. Grade it out with the rake and then use the whacker plate to flatten it and compact it down. Unfortunately, where I'd set my camera up, it did end up just slowly falling down and I hadn't noticed, so there's not too much footage like this. So here is how my patio is starting to look as it's going down. It's the Valhalla slate grey slabs I've used with the edging block stones that go around it. I've cemented the slabs down on top of the retaining wall so they shouldn't move, and I managed to cement the tops of my steps that I built as well that will lead down the garden. Here I'm laying the blocks on the edge. I had to use my saw to cut the concrete and then cement them in. I also managed to unearth the remains of the outside toilet, which had the old foundations there, and then the old waste pipe that was capped off with concrete.
You need to come this way. What's that? I don't know, but it's not mud. It looks like a brick wall. Yeah, that's brick. Yeah. It's a big thing of concrete. It's out.
Just like a big bucket of concrete.
It's in there. That bit's nearly out. I think it must be the outside shitter. There's a big piece of metal here. Do you want a toilet on the patio?
Well, we do only have one, Lou.
We do.
What's that when it's at home?
A big piece of reinforcement. Let's see which way it goes. I cut the top of the waste pipe down. It was concreted in, but I'm filled up quite full, so I wasn't too fussed with that. I did backfill it with some stone and rubble and soil, and then compacted all that down on top eventually too. So this is how my bit of land's looking after getting that pipe out of the way and filling over the top of where it was. I managed to get the blocks all the way along now, get them cemented in place. Had to pick some more slabs up that luckily I found at a concrete place, and then I was able to finish the next area of the patio off. So all in all, it's turned into quite a decent sized patio area that we've got now. I also managed to get on with the garage frame work there with some posts, and used my chop saw to cut a few angled sections to sort of beef it all up a bit. Managed to get my roofing pieces on as well. So at the moment it's a bit of a lean-to where the rest of the garage building's going to go, but it's getting there. I graded out some of the topsoil as well, because this little area here is where we're going to have a bit of grass down. So here is my finished patio. Managed to level all the ground off with the machine this week. Whacker plated down a dry mix of cement and sharp sand. Concreted the slabs, or cemented the slabs around the edges in so they're not going to move. Cemented this blockwork section in here and around the drain. So yeah, had to get some more slabs. I bought 12.5 metres squared worth, and I've had to buy another 6 metres squared. Here's my boulder-ery. And there's my section that is going to be a bit of grass down there for the dogs. And then my garage assembly, which has been going up. Some 4-inch fence posts. I've cut all the little corner sections in, strengthened it up. It will be a double garage, and I'll clad it all in eventually. I've got the roofing on today, so that's done. Had a good tidy up of what was in the garage. I am going to concrete all the pad for the floor there as well. Put a personnel door and some windows in it, so it should be a nice structure up here. I'll get my lovely old Kubota loaded up on the trailer next, and then we'll have the journey home tomorrow. I don't have many pictures of before, but this is what it did look like. The fence on the left is still there, but it was a very overgrown, horrible mess of an area with this garage that was half falling down and falling down the bank. So we've tried to make a good job of it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.